nemesis of a firefighter. Arsonist, I'm a fire rider. Instant flame like a firelighter. So special with shows, I live out my flows. Can't walk in my shoes, can't purchase my clothes. Ice in my veins, but I never froze. Picture perfect, but I never pose. As a juvenile, I knew I bounced back. Got rated, had a plan to get my ounce back. Use cheese as bait, that's a mousetrap. Let me to the right person to pounce at. They selling dreams, I'm pulling receipts. Full force, we can't be beat. Got a dirty mouth, but the flow so neat. Keep your 2 cents, talk is cheap.
You are now tuned into the Boxing Bros. I'm Caden, I'm here with my co-host.
You already know what it is, man. It's the commissioner, a.k.a. $1 Bill.
Trill.
It's your boy, TVE. How y'all doing today? What up, bro?
The first topic we're going to discuss on Boxing Bros is Canelo Alvarez past his prime? Well, we're going to listen to some comments that John Ryder made, and we'll discuss it. So first, listen to what John Ryder had to say at his post-fight press conference. Well, this video appears courtesy of Fight Hub. Subscribe to Fight Hub.
Just gutted. I've put so much into this sport over the last few years, and not always got the rub of the green. Come here with a dream, like I said. It fell short, but that's boxing. I'm not the first, I won't be the last. He was very good. I still think he's probably past his best, but he still had enough in his tank tonight.
So that's what John Ryder had to say. Canelo responded to this because someone told him about John Ryder's comments at his post-fight press conference, and here's what Canelo had to say about John Ryder's comments. All right, this video appears courtesy of Fight Hub. Subscribe to Fight Hub.
I thought you won every round, but maybe you won. You beat up John Ryder pretty good. You broke his nose. He said after the fight that you're past his prime because you couldn't finish him. But how do you feel that?
For them, it's a win, no get knocked out, right? But look, we need to give his credit. He came in to fight. His preparation was very good, and I respect the fight he did.
Thank you.
So that's what Canelo Alvarez had to say. As you can see, it's the return. Trill Dollar Bill is with us, so I'm going to throw it to Trill right out the gate. What's your reaction to John Ryder saying Canelo Alvarez is past his prime, and what are your thoughts on Canelo Alvarez's response and just your thoughts in general?
I mean, look, Canelo Alvarez past his prime. He's still out here taking body parts, you know? He's known for taking ribs, orbital bones, biceps.
Now he's taking out nostrils.
Now he's taking out nostrils. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, listen, he's still the body snatcher because he's still taking body parts. So, you know what I'm saying? So, and he still dropped him, and he won every round. And look, Canelo, we know Canelo is not in his prime. He's 32 years old, and he'll be 33 in July. July 18th. So and you add and put the ring years on him. He's up there. He's up there, and we probably seen some best of Canelo, but he still got more in the tank, and he's still a dangerous fighter. And people also got to see, like, he's coming off a little bit of layoff and coming off of a little bit of surgery, on that left hand. So, and it's coming back fighting a John Ryder, who's a tough competitor, hasn't been knocked out in forever, you know what I'm saying? So, man, give Canelo some props, man. You know what I'm saying? He did his thing, Canelo has been in there and he's fought the best, shoot. I still think he got something left. It's me.
All right. I'm gonna turn it over to Conspiracy G. What was your reaction?
Yeah, past his prime, because I'm gonna say no, and the reason why is only because sometimes you're not gonna knock everybody out. Now, I understand that John Ryder, like everyone expected John Ryder to be straight up food, right? And for the most part, he was. You know what I'm saying? Like they shipped in fish and chips for my man Canelo, but my man just wouldn't go down. Does that mean like now you're past your prime? Like I remember when Tank fought Isaac Cruz. He didn't knock out Isaac Cruz, or we gonna now be like, yo, Tank, you passed your prime because we're so used to you knocking these UK guys out. But that one guy you didn't knock out, all of a sudden you it's like, yo, you passed your prime. Like, I don't know. That kind of doesn't make sense to me. And although Canelo's been in the game for a long time, he is realistically, he is only 32. So, and I know he's been in the game for a long time. So in boxing years, he may be kind of old, but you know, he's still fairly a pretty young man. You know what I mean? So I feel like he's not past his prime. I still think he's still in his prime. I just believe John Ryder was just thinking like, hey, as long as I could survive to the end, that's his victory. You know, so him staying on his feet was probably more important to him in Mexico than Canelo knocking him out in front of all his Mexican peoples. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's like salute to John Ryder, but then again, it's like, let's say even if it was past his prime, I don't even think when John Ryder was talking, he meant it in a disrespectful way, because John Ryder was still talking respectfully about Canelo's performance. And while he's talking, his face is still leaking. Like his mouth is bloody, his nose is still leaking. Like this dude look crazy. You know what I mean? So clearly he's not so disrespectful. That's like, it's probably like honest criticism. It's probably like, yeah, you know what? The older Canelo would have definitely knocked me out, but you know, I mean, he still gave me that work. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what the situation is. I feel like Canelo is still in his prime. It's just one of those nights. Maybe because Canelo's grandma was there. He didn't want to murder homie in front of, you know, the old woman out of respect. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, come on, son. You know what I mean? Like, it could have been, they just crowned a new king in England. He didn't want to be disrespectful, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, they played the UK anthem earlier. He was probably like, yo, man, I'm trying to get invited one day to London, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So he didn't want to really violate like that. So he pardoned my man Ryder, you know. So Ryder, it was cool. I'm actually more impressed with that Ryder's performance, to be honest. Because I was like, I gave Ryder actually 3 rounds. I gave him 3 rounds. One of the rounds, I'm like, it was tough. I was like, it could go either way. But definitely he won 2 rounds. You know, like for sure. Like Ryder had 2 rounds. But it is what it is, man. I still thought it was a superb performance from Canelo. But I will say this, though. Canelo did get hit a lot in that fight that I didn't like. That I kind of felt like, why is he getting hit that much? I was like, either he's tired or he really just didn't take Ryder serious, you know, because usually Canelo's more defensively sound. But in this fight, it was like, let Ryder hit him. He'll let Ryder do a lot of things in the ring. And I'm just like, yo, this don't seem like Canelo. So I don't know. That's why I was like kind of entertaining the whole past his prime thing. But it's like, but the performance was still dominant. So if it is past his prime, it is what it is. This is still a dangerous Canelo. I know that for a fact.
Yeah, I just wanted to add to what you were saying, G. Piggyback with the knockout. I hope people out there are not gonna go too hard on the knockout. And Canelo's human at the end of the day. You know, you're there in your hometown, you know, with 50,000 people there. Like you said, he got his grandmother there, you know, the expectations, and you know, it goes to the point where you just start looking for the knockout and looking for just the knockout punches, and you start taking little shots, so you're hoping that John Ryder will open up so you can be able to hit him with something. And I think that's where Canelo fell into. No excuses. Still was a good fight.
TBE.
Man, Canelo past his prime. He's still in his prime, yo. 1 loss to Bivol. Well, second loss in his career. But the loss to Bivol, everybody want to be like, Canelo's not it. But he goes out against Triple G, he beats him. He goes out against
all these other fighters. He goes out against John Ryder. He beats him, and he beats John Ryder impressively. Like John Ryder had no answer for what Canelo was doing to him, but because he got up, that means Canelo's washed up. Come on, yo. So all the fans that are speaking like they feel Canelo's done, would y'all step in the ring with him? No. There's a lot of fighters I know still scared to step in the ring with him. So I feel like everybody just like, you know, they prey on fighters' downfalls and things like that. And when they do, you know, they have a resurgence, they prove themselves like they still lit. There's always the critics always have something to say. So I feel Canelo ain't worried about y'all. And at the end of the day, I think he still wants to fight the best opponents in the sport because he's trying to prove himself. It's all about legacy with Canelo. It's not about the money. It's not about the belts. It's all about being Mount Rushmore, the GOATs. He wants to be his face right there when it's all said and done. And Canelo's not past his prime. I think he got a whole lot left in the tank. And whatever fighter want to call him out, want to step in the ring with him, do it. Do what you need to do. So, you know, I hear Benavidez should have a mandatory against him, so we should see that soon. So sign the contract.
People have unrealistic expectations for greatness. That's the reality. It doesn't matter the sport. It doesn't matter the profession. People have unrealistic expectations. So it's impossible to meet people's expectations because good is not good enough once you reach a certain point. So for Canelo, good's never good enough. He has to be exceptional. And even if he's exceptional, they nitpick and then they find ways to discredit him. It's the same thing that happened with Floyd Mayweather. It's the same thing that happens with LeBron James. It's the same thing that happens with any great athlete. People find ways to discredit. So people are getting at Canelo Alvarez because he didn't knock out John Ryder. Well, John Ryder was only stopped one time in his career, and that's when he drained himself to make weight. Ever since then, he's never been stopped. So he's a tough, strong, durable guy. He got in the ring with Canelo, and he got dropped. Now, when he got dropped, he almost didn't get up. He was looking at his corner. But then he made the decision to get up and fight back. And I respect that. But you got to look at it like this. John Ryder has been hearing he's food for like the last few months. He's been hearing he's food. He was brought in to be Canelo Alvarez homecoming. You have over 50,000 people in the stadium cheering to see you die. Anybody who's a fighter is going to get back up and fight back. So where you said, G, to me, it was more of a testament of John Ryder's will to not get knocked out and to not give Canelo the storybook ending. But to say that Canelo's past his prime, to me, would be kind of like, even if he is past his prime, he's 32, he's been a pro since he's 15 years old. So, and he's turning 33, so he's been a pro for 18 years. So his 33 isn't your regular 33, right? They got people turning pro at 22, 23, 24. Only the rare people can turn pro at that age. And you can't even really do it no more. I remember Devin turned pro at 17. He had to go to Mexico to do it because he couldn't turn pro in the United States of America. So when people make videos talking about, oh, look at Devin fighting all these bums in Mexico, he had no choice because he couldn't turn pro in America. He had to turn pro in Mexico. Then they're not telling you this is a 17-year-old kid fighting grown men. How often do you see that? Canelo was doing it at 15. So Canelo turned pro at 15, been doing it for 18 years. So if you want to say Canelo is past his prime, meaning he doesn't look as good as one of the other fights you've seen him in throughout his 18-year career, well, fine. He didn't live up to that for you. But what evidence do you have to suggest he's past his prime? He has all four of the belts. Just was it like last year or the year before? I don't off the top of my head, I think maybe it was 2021. 2022, he got all the belts in a division, beating undefeated fighters, undefeated Billy Joe Saunders, undefeated Caleb Plant, undefeated Callum Smith. I know people are going to try to crap on them and say that they're not good because you're trying to nitpick and disrespect greatness. I hear some people out there saying, "Well, he's picking the UK fighters. He's picking on the UK fighters. He doesn't fight black fighters." I've heard this argument before. He won't fight undefeated black fighters. I'm just saying, those same people praise Gervonta Tank Davis. Tell me the undefeated black fighter Gervonta Tank Davis has fought. Do you know, G?
Well, it's going to be Haney next. So
I'm asking you, can you tell me who's the undefeated black fighter that Gervonta Tank Davis has fought?
coming soon, Devin Haney. You know what I mean? Don't worry.
Right. That's coming soon. I can say the same about Canelo. Coming soon, Charlo, right? But it ain't here yet. True. Do you know the undefeated black fighter that Tank's fought? Because I don't know.
Nah, I don't know him either.
So you can't be a hypocrite and have criticism of one person, but then not have the same. And that's what I mean. I already called out the double standard in boxing when it came to Floyd Mayweather and how the media did Floyd when Floyd was on top, compared to when Shane Mosley and Oscar De La Hoya was on top. And now you look at Canelo Alvarez and people are holding him to different standards. You pointed it out. Icy Cruz. Tank didn't knock him out. Nobody was calling for Tank. We was like, sometimes you just don't get the knockout.
And
sometimes people are better than you. Yeah. And he hurt Tank. And he been calling out Tank for a rematch, and he hasn't gotten a rematch. So come on now. Like people pick and choose and want to do whatever. Gamboa, yes, Tank stopped Gamboa, but he didn't look sensational doing it against Gamboa. That fight was a dud, and Gamboa was like, I remember watching that fight. So what are we talking about? Sometimes you have good performances, sometimes you don't. What people aren't taking into account is this was a homecoming from Canelo. He was in the place where he used to sell items out just to eat. Popsicles just to eat. He's in front of his people. He's in front of his family. He's in front of the fans. Look at the entrance he had. You know how much pressure it is alone just to have an entrance like that? That's like you just putting a big old target on your back, coming out with an entrance like that.
That's why we had to pay $50-something for this pay-per-view to cover the cost of all those dudes dancing. You know,
that's right. But they didn't put it in the undercard for sure. They didn't put it in the undercard. Now, all I'm saying is, imagine the pressure coming home before your country, your fans of your country. Everyone's expecting you to knock this guy out. This is a human being who sat there and saw he was selected for your homecoming, and everyone's saying he's going to get knocked out. And the moment you have him on the ground to be knocked out, the fighter in him comes out. The will in him comes out, and he says, you got to kill me to beat me. And Canelo very well may have killed him. He was bleeding from everywhere at that press conference talking about, I think he's bad. He passed his prime. There's nothing to suggest Canelo's passed his prime.
He had the AJ nose.
There's nothing to suggest he's past his prime. But I'll close with saying this, and you brought this up, Tro. Even if he's past his prime, it doesn't mean that he's going to be easy to beat. Floyd was past his prime when he beat Marquez, Pacquiao, when he beat all these other dudes. Floyd was past his prime. Hell, Floyd was past his prime when he beat Canelo. That wasn't the same Floyd who used to do all this. He didn't have the same speed, whatever. He just had higher IQ. He was still athletic. He could still do certain things. That may be the stage of Canelo's career where he's in, where he's slightly past his prime, but his IQ is high, his athleticism is still there, and he still has the bone-crushing power. And by bone-crushing, the evidence is out there, bone-crushing power to beat these guys. So anyways, who cares what the people say? He won. He didn't live up to your unrealistic expectations. Fine. You want to have these double standards where you want to see Canelo do this, but you don't care when other fighters don't do it, whatever. All I know is my man is number 5 on Forbes list, is the highest paid athletes in the world. He just won again on pay-per-view, and he got 4 belts, and he's undisputed. And he did that in less than a year. So if you want to hate, you can hate, but that's not going to stop Canelo from accomplishing greatness. And you can call people who appreciate his greatness, whatever you want to call them, but maybe you're just bitter, and then, you know, who cares? But
he says more about you.
Yeah. TV.
I wouldn't say excuse me. I wouldn't say Floyd was past his prime, because Floyd, as he aged, he took his game to another level. For like instance, past his prime examples like Blake Griffin. When he came into like the NBA, he was jumping out the gym, ducking over cars, everything. As soon as he couldn't do it no more, he couldn't provide us nothing else. I feel like when you're past your prime, you can't provide us nothing else. Like if you like for a fighter, if they lose that, if they all they had was power and now they don't have any chin no more, they can't get it done. Or
that's literally not what past your prime means.
I just feel
past
like
your prime means this. Hold on.
Level.
Let me finish. Let me just finish real quick. Let me explain to you what past your prime means.
Yeah.
Say I run track, and my fastest time in the 100 meters was a 9.7, and I used to dust everyone at 9.7. Yeah. And I slow down a little bit. Now I run 9.78. And when I race, that's my time. I'm still good enough to beat everyone. I'm still winning. But I'm past my prime. My prime was 9.7. I still have a lot to offer everyone, but I'm not in my prime anymore.
The Roberto Duran that beat Sugar Ray the first time and the Roberto Duran that knocked out Ivan Barkley was 2 different Roberto Duran.
Then I had a misunderstanding of what prime meant. And like for all these years, I felt like prime was like, yo, they're still good. They're still great. They could do anything. But I get what you're saying now. Prime is like the expectation for yourself. And if you can't meet that.
Prime is just your best.
Yeah, prime is your best.
Yeah.
The best
but
version
if you find a new best. Is that
right? The most weight you ever lifted on the bench press, that's you in the prime. That's your prime of the bench press. So if you bench press 5 pounds less than that, you're still pretty good, but you're just not in your prime anymore.
Yeah.
You understand?
Got it.
So it's your highest level is your prime. And even if you dip just slightly, you're not in your prime. LeBron James still a really good basketball player. He's not in his prime. Still will give most people the business, not in his prime.
Hey, let us know how y'all feel in the comment section. Please like and subscribe. Check us out on Instagram and Twitter. And please check out our podcast on all major streaming services. You know who we are. We the boxing. We just getting started.
Prime is just conflicting for me, man. Yo, y'all be easy.
Prime is prime, bro. Prime is prime. Hold on, Veggie. We gotta look up prime.
I feel you.